I've been involved with the library since the steering committee at the very beginning, and I've enjoyed every minute that I've been here. It's always lots of fun to come back to the library because you know people that not only work there, but the people that come in and participate in the library. And sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I know you work in the library, don't you?" I said, "Yes." In about 1992, I believe, maybe, well, no, 1990, Yvonne Finley was ahead of me, and they moved, and Beth said, "Would you like to do that?" And I said, "Okay." The biggest change was when, I'm not a computer person, but one day, I believe it was Lauren Lewis, said, "Flo, we've got to change the way we get subs. We can do this on the computer." Well, that was absolutely fabulous, and it works beautifully. The girls usually get their own volunteers, and if I get a call, they're practically in tears. "I'm so sorry I have to call you, but nobody's answered my..." And I tell them to relax, we will get somebody. I always tell them this is not the Seton Neonatal Clinic. That the books can sit on the carts, and that's just fine. Now Beth taught me that, and that do not get excited, don't get over emotional about books sitting on the shelf, on the carts. They'll get out there eventually, and they do because we have such wonderful teams. The teams are just a really big part of our group. We had murder mystery dinners, which were great fun, and our own people wrote the scripts, and so you would come to a dinner, and a murder would be committed, and maybe the man next to you, who you didn't know, was the murderer. It was great fun. We all got on the Commodore, and we had a script we could describe. The Commodore was on Lake Austin, Lake Austin. And so we went up, and Dorothy is a historian. Actually, she wrote that book that we have in the library about the history of Eden School, that she and Linda Vance. And so she was able to tell us what we were looking at. And I am not a Texan, so I was really interested in doing this. And Dorothy and I were connected through our church too. But it was a wonderful fundraiser, and a unique one. That's Maxine Kennedy in back of me, but I don't remember the names of the other two. I had nothing to do with making a quilt, or it never would have been sold. It would have been thrown away. But that's how they made money, and still do make money on quilts that they raffle off. And it's a very important part of a lot of people's lives to be able to gather together and the old-fashioned way of making quilts. Everyone was very excited. We finally had a place and had a home. We had balloons, we had people, we had children. It was very, very exciting. We were exhausted, but it was wonderful. Of course, everyone was signing up for a card, so it was a lot of writing, and I can see 3 or 4 people here trying to help clients sign in. That was very fun. This is over at the bank, and I guess it's all the people that worked over there, and it's wonderful to see all these people, and to know some of them aren't with us anymore, and to know that some of them are with us still. So, and there's Beth and Flo in the back row. Oh no, never, never, because of the enthusiasm of the people had. It may have been difficult, more difficult than we thought, but it would be done one way or another. We'd get it done. Everybody showed up. Of course, all the dignitaries showed up because they wanted to be a part of it. But all those poor people that had moved, all those books, Boy Scouts, different groups came in and moved the things, and all the men that put the shelves together, which is no easy thing. And of course, Beth and her husband Dennis were right in there doing everything. But we didn't, as I told you, we didn't have to carry books upstairs anymore. That was a big thing in my life. We were out there on Lois Library, and we formed a big, was it a circle? And Bob Gilliam flew over and took a picture of us. And they asked us to wear red. That's why we're all wearing red. Yes, this is a great picture on that great page. We never dreamed it would be, we would have a second library. That never entered our mind when we started. Never entered our mind. But we were so glad that we had so many people interested in the second library.